James in the comments says, from Muscat deal done to Roll in 48 hours, it's pure sabotage from Kevin Thelwell. Mikey says, how can you pull yourself out of the running to then be appointed manager? Mark says, how many managers have been in pole position because someone else said hell no? Rangers Easy OK says, more than happy to give Danny Rohl a chance. The views he's got from down south in Germany are glowing. The polar opposite of when we appointed Martin. Fans will back him, but Thelwell and Son and Stewart need to get out of the club now. Williams says that Roll will be Stewart and Thelwell's puppet.
And this is going to be the suspicion. That's what I'm saying, Dan. And this is why I say I feel quite sorry for him. I think a lot of it is unfair. He's going to be carrying baggage that's got nothing to do with him and everything to do with the people that are making decisions above him. And that's a regrettable position to start off. But you know, if listen, what if he is a really talented guy? What if he gets a tune out of players that Russell Martin couldn't get? What if he starts getting results? What if he knocks Celtic out the semi-final at Hampden starting next month? It could change really quickly and the fans could get right behind it really quickly. But there's a lot of what ifs in there. And that's what I was saying, Dan. See, when I say about the logical approach, what is logical? We'll see when the Gerrard thing's falling over and the Muscat thing's falling over and they're all pointing back to you know, the structure and the way that they would have to operate under Kevin Thelwell and Greta Steinson's name comes up as well. See, once you've gone through that a couple of times, as Andrew Kavanagh and Parag Marath did, isn't there a point where you think, this appears to be a problem? And you could eliminate the problem, give the fans what they want, win yourselves a bit of popularity with the support that's pretty borderline mutinous just now. Tell Kevin Thelwell that thanks, but no thanks, off you pop now. And then you can go back on the phone, whether it's to Gerrard or whether it's to Muscat, and say, look, you know that problem? It's not a problem anymore. Can we get back and do this deal? That would have struck me as the logical thing to do in the situation that Rangers found themselves. Instead of that, they've gone back and Kevin Thelwell has produced for the umpteenth time Danny Rohl, and this time there's nobody left standing still to contest it. I honestly find it extraordinary. But as I keep saying, I feel it's so unfair on Danny Rohl. And, you know, I think he deserves the opportunity to get in, do his work and see what it looks like. The problem that he's got is that anybody that's been paying any attention to the decision-making that's been done at Rangers over these last few months will find it highly questionable from the start, because they've not got very much right, have they?
That's very true.
I wrote a column today, Dan. I said, Andrew Kavanagh, you've got to give him credit. He took over what was it? A bucket. Oh my God, words have failed me now.
Getting old. Yeah.
Anyway, he took over a bucket job or something like that, and he turned it into a bin fire. In the space of, you know, without hardly having time to blink or breathe. And that's the situation Rangers are in right now. And it's just been through a litany of errors of judgment, bad calls, really wonky decision making. And that none of that is Danny Rohl's fault. And yet he's going to end up having to front it up now.
Yeah. Let me run through a few of these comments just to finish off on them. Let me have a look. There's a few people.
Case.
Basket. There you go. You got there in the end.
That's what I was looking for.
There's a few people that are positive about it. Graham says, Keith, Dad, let's give the guy a chance. The league is done. If we pick up a cup and then progress to next season. The hairy biker, a bit stronger, says, Roll rejected Rangers. Now the clubs went begging to get him as manager. It's embarrassing how bad the club has been run, like a cheap red light window in Amsterdam. Gravy says, I would rather roll down and Charlie Bucket as assistant. This is definitely not a golden ticket appointment. And John says, Roll has an uphill battle with the fans from the get-go, just like Russell Martin. It's going to end the same way too. And finally...
He's not Russell Martin. I think that we have to make that distinction. There's been a lot of people saying, oh, it's Russell Martin Mark II. It's not really. I don't think the two of them are comparable in terms of the philosophies and the way they want the game to be played. Whether or not he's any good. I mean, and there's another credibility problem, isn't it? Because if you're looking and you're basing your decision purely on the CV, what have the guys achieved that we're looking at here, you'd actually say Russell Martin's CV was a little bit better.
Aye, definitely.
Than Danny Rohl's.
Aye.
And that's probably why they went that way in the summer, even though everybody else was warning them that one looked like ending in a sort of chaotic disaster, which is exactly what happened.
Should we, I mean, just finally, Paul there in the comments says, if Rohl runs into difficulties, I think the fans will give Stewart and Thelwell the grief, not him.